The awakening of the chosen. Think that before you even let out your first breath, you had already made a commitment that went beyond words. This sacred alliance with Source is inscribed in the essence of your soul. There were no formalities, no witnesses. It was a silent but extremely powerful event. Every cell in your body carries this invisible agreement. Every beat of your heart is a reminder that there is a goal waiting for you. This connection you have with Source is not merely a temporary link, but an invitation for you to become a beacon, a guide in a world that is often disoriented between confusion and obscurity. Have you ever noticed how, even in the most ordinary circumstances, there is a realization that something deeper awaits you? This feeling, often manifested as restlessness, is the resonance of this sacred pact. Although you are not aware of it, something in you already identifies the role you must assume and the direction you must follow. Despite the challenges, this journey also presents a depth and sense of purpose that most people may never have the opportunity to experience. It seems that, in your inner silence, you understand that the adversities that appear, the moments in which everything seems to be against you, are in reality stages on your path of evolution. These challenges are not punishments but rather gifts, chances in disguise to polish your soul and prepare you for something even greater. As you deal with these challenges, you may even question why your life seems to be above average in difficulty. This is the cost of those who undertake a great mission. It is not a simple task, nor was it planned for it. Each challenge that arises is like a process of spiritual improvement that, little by little, shapes who you are, revealing deeper levels of your potential. Numerous people around you may never understand this force. They may even view your trajectory with silent incomprehension, without realizing that you are in a process of change, of polishing, similar to a diamond that only shows its beauty after intense friction. However, if the obstacles are challenging, on the other hand, they awaken a strength in you that you may not have been aware you had. With each barrier overcome, with each moment you choose light instead of uncertainty, you align yourself even more with the mission that Source gave you. This agreement connects you directly to the vibration of the universe, with a wisdom that goes beyond what is perceptible. It is in this connection that you discover a strength that others may never have realized. Whenever we are faced with challenges, there is a chance to unite even more with this source of light and strength. This bond intensifies and consolidates as we are loyal to our objective, remaining steadfast, even when conditions are adverse. As selected, you have the responsibility and privilege to act as a beacon for others, to be a light in the midst of darkness. It may seem like an arduous task, but it provides a sense of accomplishment that keeps you going, even in the most adverse moments. I think about how many people go through life without ever discovering that deep purpose that gives meaning to obstacles. Have you ever asked yourself why you feel this feeling that you have been called to something greater? You are not the only one with this view. Share your experiences or perceptions about this call in the comments. Every experience, every challenge you face is part of a plot meticulously crafted by the Source. These challenging phases are not casual. They have intense intention and serve a greater purpose. It's normal to feel drained, wondering why everything feels so intense or why it always feels like you're being tested. However, each of these tests is a hidden lesson, a call from Source itself for you to delve into your own soul and demonstrate a strength that only you possess. This process is not simple, but it is crucial for you to become fully aware of the mission you have. The sacred pact you signed is no ordinary task. It requires a commitment from you that goes beyond material benefits or social norms. This sacred vow urges you to go beyond the boundaries of yourself, to seek a clarity that cannot be perceived with the eyes, but that is perceived in every decision you make. Source trusts you to act as a beacon, a guide who instills in others the curiosity to go beyond the surface, to discover the depths of their own being. This requires you to be honest with yourself, face moments of uncertainty and pain, and remain steadfast, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It may seem like you are carrying a heavy burden, but don't forget, calls to great missions are never given a simple path. When pain seems unbearable, or when obstacles seem insurmountable, it is in these moments that you most need to establish a connection with Source, allowing this energy to fill you, strengthen your faith, your bravery, and your capacity for resistance. Although you may occasionally be unable to perceive the presence of Source in your life, it is always there. It is necessary to quiet your mind, calm your heart, and listen to the inner voice, the one that never leaves you, always guiding you. There is an inexpressible beauty in this agreement, a depth that connects it to a source of wisdom that few can reach. When you are in tune with this sacred mission, life transforms into something beyond the banal. It becomes a dance between the tangible and the intangible, a sequence of experiences that, despite their complexity, lead you to your ultimate goal. Every moment of suffering, every uncertainty, every adversity forms you, just as fire forms iron, making you a source of energy for others. Have you ever experienced that, in times of crisis, sparks of inspiration arise, as if the universe is giving you subtle signals about your next move? This is the impact of this sacred pact on your life, a reminder that even in the most adverse moments, you are not isolated. These murmurs, these coincidences are indications from Source, a gentle reminder that you are heading in the right direction, even if it is difficult and fraught with obstacles. This task is not meant for the weak, which is why it has been given to you. With each obstacle overcome, with each decision made with faith, you honor this commitment and get closer to your true goal. Often, others feel attracted to your presence without understanding exactly why. They identify in you something that goes beyond the ordinary, a wisdom, tranquility, or strength that seems to be uncommon in this world. This is because the energy your soul emits is distinct, a resonance originating from your link with Source. It seems that people unconsciously realize that they can find guidance, comfort, or inspiration from you. You've probably noticed how people come to you to express their problems, looking for comfort or understanding in your words that seems unusual to most. This is the expression of your sacred covenant, a mirror of the mission you have undertaken at a deeper level. This call turns you into a beacon of light, a refuge of hope, a safe haven for those who find themselves disoriented in the face of life's adversities. By assuming this role, you intensify your connection with the Source, intensifying the connection with this force that sustains you. This sacred pact goes beyond a simple belief. It requires total engagement, a dedication of heart and soul to the mission you have accepted, even if unconsciously. During challenges, keep in mind that by choosing to remain faithful to this contract, face obstacles head-on and not give up, you are fulfilling the mission entrusted to you. I would like to know if you have had experiences that initially seemed insurmountable, but that ultimately resulted in an understanding or strength that previously seemed unattainable. These circumstances are those that most connect us to our true nature. Leave your comment about this. Every challenge you face has a fundamental purpose that goes beyond what we can initially understand. These obstacles do not represent punishments, but rather hidden opportunities, components of a divine puzzle that Source has meticulously designed to shape the most genuine in you. Alternatively, you may have noticed that periods of adversity appear in your life with an unusual intensity, almost as if there were a regularity, a rhythm that only you can identify. And the reality is that there is a reason for this. These exams are not intended for everyone, are intended for those who have been called to live a life of purpose, depth, and impact. With each adversity, each loss, and each disappointment, you are encouraged to get rid of everything that is futile, everything that no longer contributes to your development. These moments of suffering work like chisels, eliminating layers of ego, illusions, and fears, until the genuine essence of who you really are is revealed. And that strength, that resilience, is destined to shine even in the darkness. By dealing with these obstacles, you are actually preparing yourself to hold the light, to act as a beacon in a world that often lacks hope and guidance. There is a profound beauty in this process, even if, on many occasions, it is difficult to see. The pain is authentic, but it also represents the love of Source, expressed in its deepest and most transformative expression. Every tear shed, every moment of loneliness and uncertainty, is looked at by the Source with compassion and understanding. It is as if the cosmos knows that you are capable of facing and overcoming these challenges, and in doing so, you become a living model of bravery and determination for those who have not yet awakened. They follow your trajectory, perhaps without fully understanding it, but they notice something distinct about you, a light that does not go out even in the midst of adversity. Therefore, these difficulties are not limited to you. They have a common goal, a reason that transcends their own personal development. By overcoming these obstacles, you gain the ability to help others and inspire those who are still beginning their own journeys. By converting your pain into knowledge, your uncertainty into security, and your darkness into clarity, you become a source of inspiration and energy for those around you. And somehow, by sharing your resilience, you influence the lives of those who are still discovering their own inner strength. Each time you rise up in the face of an obstacle, you are not only honoring the sacred pact you have made with Source, but also lighting the path for others. Reflect on the number of individuals who find themselves disoriented, looking for a purpose for their own pain. By living your truth and turning suffering into a step towards your spiritual development, you show these people that there is a solution, a way to discover purpose and meaning in the midst of chaos. Have you ever stopped to think about how these obstacles shaped who you have become today? They do not characterize him, but they are part of the formation of a soul that carries the strength of 1,000 battles won. And this is something that few have the ability to express. Share in the comments if these adversities have made you stronger and more aware of your purpose. When we reflect on the difficulties we have experienced, it can be difficult to see, in the heat of the moment, how they contribute to something bigger. At first glance, pain, loneliness, and uncertainty seem to be insurmountable barriers. However, as time passed, we began to understand that these moments were, in reality, stepping stones that led us to a deeper level of understanding and spiritual connection. They influence us in a way that no theoretical class could ever do. By overcoming each obstacle, our soul gains a new layer of knowledge, a new depth, a resilience that can only be obtained through experience. By understanding this, we begin to realize that these obstacles are part of our training for the purpose we carry. The interesting thing is that, often, those who observe from the outside may have no idea what is happening internally. They observe the strong and confident person, but they have no idea what it took to reach that level. Each of your obstacles is like a secret between you and Source, something you exchange silently, but which leaves a clear impression on your spirit. Over time, this impression becomes an aura of tranquility, a presence that inspires confidence and protection. This is the deepest objective of the challenges, to transform you into a person who, through your own journey, can illuminate the path of those who have not yet understood the strength they carry with them. Many people live their lives avoiding discomfort, avoiding adversity, and longing for a frictionless life. However, for those who have signed a sacred pact with the Source, the trajectory is different. The call is to face it, to overcome it, to progress. The difference between the chosen path and the chosen path is the acceptance of this process, the realization that each obstacle represents a chance to delve even deeper into one's purpose. The more you dedicate yourself to this journey, the more you become aware of the presence of Source, guiding you, whispering between the lines of each experience. By achieving the goal of each challenge, you intensify your connection with Source. It seems that each achievement represents an act of loyalty, a confirmation of the commitment your soul made before you were even born. Over time, challenges may no longer be seen as barriers and become intrinsic elements of the process. The pain persists, the uncertainties persist, but you see them from a new point of view. Realize that Behind each of these challenging moments, there is a chance for evolution, a hidden knowledge that can only be understood by those who live the experience with an open mind. I wonder how many of us have stopped to consider the true magnitude of these adversities. How many times can we realize, even in the midst of pain, the magnitude of our transformation? After all, everything we experience leaves us a legacy, a wisdom that is not contained in books, but in experiences. The feeling of disconnection, of being distinct, of not being included, can often feel like a curse. It seems that the world around you is moving at a speed, a dynamic that, for you, has never had any meaning. Most people are happy to integrate, blend in, and adhere to predefined patterns. However, you don't. And even if you try hard, there is always something that stops you from following this collective movement. This feeling of not fitting in is not casual. It is a manifestation of your sacred pact with Source, a crucial component of your purpose. This separation is a silent call to look at life from a higher perspective, to notice what many overlook. Distance from crowds, even though it is a challenge, is a sacred gift. This allows you to silence external voices and listen to your own inner voice, improve your intuition, and discover truths that most people do not dare to seek. This place of seclusion is not a place of helplessness, but a refuge where the connection with the sacred can intensify without the interruptions of the world. It's a privilege, even if it can feel like a heavy burden at times. By avoiding the pressures of conformity, you can see beyond appearances and perceive intentions and energies that others cannot perceive. In reality, this isolation is a safeguard that the Source provides you, a way of protecting your essence so that it does not get lost amid expectations and illusions. Yes, it can be lonely and unpleasant. However, it is also a chance to discover what is really important to your soul, to seek the truth without filters or disguises. This solitude, which can often seem like a burden, is in fact the right soil for cultivating your spiritual mission. In moments when the world around you seems distant and you feel disoriented, remember, it is in this sacred space that the voice of Source manifests itself most clearly. In each moment of solitude, we are encouraged to trust in yourself, to understand that this separation is a gift that provides you with unparalleled clear vision and resilience. Perhaps, along your journey, you have experienced judgment or misunderstanding from those who have not yet awakened. They don't understand what you perceive, and they may not understand the reason for your decisions, your principles. But this is an essential component of your sacred covenant. The Source selected him for a role that requires bravery, firmness, and a perspective that does not submit to popular expectations. This detachment does not indicate a flaw in you. It is evidence that your journey is unique, sacred, and that you came for a greater purpose. Over time, this separation stops being a burden and begins to reveal its true purpose, to enable you to achieve deeper wisdom, becoming a vehicle of light and knowledge for those seeking a greater purpose. This place is where you discover your inner strength, where you realize that solitude is actually a chance to listen to Source and feel its direction. By accepting this mission, you become a lighthouse, a guide, someone who demonstrates to others that it is viable to live in tune with the divine, even in a world that seems to move in the opposite direction. Has anyone experienced this disconnect? Who has experienced this loneliness and simultaneously the perception that it functions as a form of protection? Write in the comments if this solitude has given you more clarity or a more intense connection with your purpose. It is intriguing to think that while the world seeks the comfort of conformity, those who have entered into a sacred pact are called upon to follow an entirely different path. Loneliness and disconnection, instead of being barriers, act as true portals for you to have a clearer perspective on life, free from the distractions or veils that obscure most people. This separation acts as a filter that distinguishes the essential from the accessory, enabling the observation of reality in a raw and undistorted way. This divine distinction, is one of the most powerful resources of your trajectory. After all, it is in the silence of your own company that you can identify your true nature, without the influence of other people's opinions or society's expectations. This place is where you learn to trust yourself, where each experience turns into deep learning. As you accept and understand this difference, it stops being a pain and becomes a shield, a protection that helps you play your role in a genuine and loyal way to your purpose. Over time, this sacred solitude leads you to a state of clarity that allows you to see the world and people around you more deeply. You begin to see beyond words, to feel the energy that each individual possesses, to understand what is not expressed. This expanded vision, which emerges from this isolating environment, is a valuable gift given to you so that you can serve as a guide in a world where many are adrift. This is one of the reasons you have stood out from the masses, to establish a direct and intimate connection with Source, without the external noises that restrict the vision of many. With this clarity, you go beyond being just an observer. You become a link between what is visible and what is invisible. The people around you may not fully understand your journey, but they are captivated by the tranquility and conviction you carry. They may even question what is unique about you, without realizing that the light of your sacred covenant is manifested in every gesture and word you say. This distinction acts as a silent warning that you are in tune with something greater, that your mission has a goal that goes beyond daily concerns. So, when you accept this separation with ease, it becomes a strong signal that there is a higher path. Those who come close to you begin to realize that there is something more to life, a depth that they may not have yet experienced. Without realizing it, you begin to encourage them to question, to look for something beyond what they were previously taught. Your role as chosen goes beyond a personal experience. It is an invitation for others to awaken, allowing them to see reality from a new perspective. By accepting this isolation as a crucial component of your trajectory, you realize that it is, in reality, a gift, a place where the divine can intervene directly in your life. This enables you to live in tune with Source, free from the distractions that restrict most. If this loneliness in some way makes you question your trajectory, remember, it is in this environment that your true strength manifests itself. It is in this environment where you discover wisdom that cannot be transmitted, but only experienced. This moment of awakening is a transformative experience that completely changes the way you perceive the world around you. As if suddenly, a curtain opens, and what once seemed trivial is now filled with hidden meanings, energies, and patterns that you had never noticed. Everything around you takes on a new vibrancy. Colors seem more vibrant, casual interactions are no longer random, and you begin to notice synchronicities that seem to answer your soul's most intimate questions. This is a point of no return, where your consciousness expands, and you begin to understand the ultimate purpose that guides your life. Awakening is like the fulfillment of an old commitment, the activation of a connection that has always existed between you and the Source, but which until then was dormant. This process is not random. It is directed by the Source itself, which sows signs, guidance, and synchronicities on your path to rekindle the divine flame that resides within you. These clues act as subtle reminders, as if the cosmos is gently calling your name, guiding you to what's truly important. When you begin to answer this call, you understand that there is a greater force guiding events, an invisible symphony that interconnects every detail of your life. This new vision can be simultaneously exciting and somewhat confusing. It is possible to start questioning everything you previously considered true, reconsidering every decision, every conviction, and every relationship. Questions that previously seemed to have defined answers now acquire greater depth, and you feel an uncontrollable urge to seek a higher truth, a goal that goes beyond the routines and expectations of the world. This awakening process is a reminder that the sacred pact you made with Source is in effect, that you did not come into the world at random, but to walk a spiritual path that patiently awaits you. As you awaken, the desire to live genuinely becomes inescapable. It seems that an inner force pushes you towards a life more in tune with your true objective, where there is no longer any place for lies or superficiality. This invitation invites you to explore a consciousness that goes beyond what you already knew, that connects you directly to the divine. This awakening does not occur instantly. It is a constant process where each level of understanding uncovered leads to an even deeper truth. Each step on this journey increases your sensitivity to internal messages, the intuition that guides you, and the subtle voices that whisper next steps. This is the moment when the source becomes more present in your life, and you begin to understand that each event, each obstacle, and each victory are part of a greater purpose. This awakening is an invitation to place trust in yourself and allow yourself to dive into the process of self-discovery, knowing that, in the end, this will result in a deeper understanding of your role in the world. Life begins to take on a new meaning, and you understand that true purpose is not something you look for outside, but something that is found within you. During this process, you will begin to notice a new clarity in your perception of the world, a wisdom that will allow you to see beyond appearances. What was once obscure and incomprehensible now becomes clear, revealing a vibrant and interconnected universe. And along this journey, you will discover a strength that goes beyond mere persistence. It is a strength that derives from alignment with your mission, from the conviction that you are exactly where you should be. Therefore, this awakening does not represent an end, but a beginning, an invitation to a new way of living, where every gesture, every thought, and every choice is in tune with the desire of the source. This shift is palpable evidence that the sacred covenant between you and the divine is not merely a promise from the past, but a reality that pulses in every current moment, guiding you toward a life filled with meaning and purpose. As you progress through this awakening process, it is normal for new layers of understanding to begin to emerge. Suddenly, the world around you seems to react differently to your presence, as if everything was organized to help you achieve your goal. This state of consciousness highlights the deep connection between you, Source, and everything around you. It's a feeling of universal belonging, of being in tune with the rhythm of the universe, as if you and the cosmos are dancing to the rhythm of calm yet vibrant music. In this process, your intuition becomes your most reliable guide. In moments of uncertainty, when doubts try to obscure the clarity that awakening provides, your intuition works like a beacon, clearing the path forward, revealing truths that cannot be expressed verbally, but that are assimilated in a profound way. This inner voice is not just a thought. It is Source expressing itself through you, reminding you of the commitment you have made and helping you make decisions aligned with your mission. This awakening is not a one-time event. It is a constant invitation for you to deepen your understanding and embrace a new vision of yourself and your role in the world. Each experience, whether gentle or intense, rewarding or challenging, is part of a divine plan that aims to help you remember your true nature. Awakening is not intended to lead you to an endpoint. It is an ongoing process of opening to the infinite wisdom of Source, of becoming an increasingly complete expression of your divine purpose. As you allow this transformation to occur, you begin to notice the effect it has on others. The people around you may not immediately understand what you are going through, but they will notice the transformation in your energy. Possibly, when expressing or divulging your perspective, some people experience an inexplicable attraction, a curiosity about this tranquility and clarity that you convey. They may not be able to express what they feel, but they feel, in your presence, a truth that reaches deep into their hearts. Therefore, your trajectory becomes a silent invitation for others to also awaken and seek their own purpose. This subtle effect you cause is, in reality, one of the expressions of your sacred pact. By living in your truth, by heeding the call of Source, and allowing awakening to transform your existence, you become a means for others to discover their own connection to the divine. It's as if, by being in tune with your purpose, you can establish an invisible network of light and inspiration that reaches those who are ready to begin their own journey of awakening. Experiencing this condition of expanded consciousness is simultaneously a privilege and an obligation. He asks you to remain loyal to your mission, to persist in the search for truth, even in the face of uncertain paths. And, in case of uncertainty, Keep in mind that awakening is an uninterrupted process. It unfolds in layers, revealing new insights and truths as you connect more deeply with Source. As you surrender to this process, your perception broadens, enabling you to see the divine in even the most trivial experiences. This is the power of awakening. It leads you to a life where each experience becomes sacred, where each interaction is perceived as part of a greater plan, where each obstacle represents a chance for evolution. When you awaken to this state, you begin to live with a lightness and confidence that can only come from those who are in tune with Source. Your trajectory is no longer exclusive, becoming an agent of change for everyone around you. Who has experienced moments when the world seemed to acquire a new meaning? If you have felt this call or experienced this awakening, comment in the comments how it changed your perspective on life. These talents you have, which have been hidden for so long, are much more than mere talents. They represent your divine heritage, a set of skills given so that you can accomplish your mission in the world. For a long time, these spiritual gifts remained inactive, such as seeds buried on earth, waiting for the right time to germinate. As you progress on your journey and set a deeper connection to the Source, these seeds start to sprout, unraveling a potential that you may never have to possess. Its intuition intensifies, allowing you to see beyond the surface and understand truths that go beyond common understanding. This perception allows you to capture the subtle energies around you, realize the vibrations of people, places, and circumstances. It is about activating a new layer of perception, a perception that cannot be explained rationally, but is felt intensely. Empathy, one of the most valuable talents you have, enables an almost visceral connection with the emotions of others, understanding what words cannot convey. And it's not just about tangible emotions or energies you capture. Gradually, you can start trying visions, messages, and signs that seem to come from a universe far beyond our tangible reality. These gifts, this connection with higher kingdoms, are the means of the Source to communicate with you, guiding it in its sacred mission. They were not created at random, nor are they a result of a coincidence. These gifts are part of your sacred pact, the commitment you have made with the divine to illuminate the path of those who seek and bring healing to those who are disoriented. However, like all genuine force, they carry a great responsibility. By becoming aware of these skills, it is normal for you to feel the responsibility to use them with integrity and discernment. The doubt may arise, that internal question that asks, will I be deserving of such responsibility? How to ensure that these talents are employed for the common good without being diverted by the ego or individual interests? These questions are relevant as they indicate that you value your role and the effect it can have on the world. The Source has selected you precisely because you know that in your heart, you have the integrity, wisdom, and commitment needed to use these gifts responsibly. They represent a sacred language, a means by which the universe communicates with you, and through you, influences the lives of others. As you align with your purpose, more these talents expand, unraveling new potential dimensions. They develop and improve together with you, adjusting as your consciousness expands and your understanding deepens. Every time you employ these gifts to fulfill the divine purpose, whether to provide healing, guidance, or inspiration, you intensify your bond with the Source. This conscious and compassionate use is a means of honoring the sacred covenant, recognizing that these gifts go beyond personal abilities. They are instruments that allow you to live a life in tune with the greater objective. When employed with compassion, these powers make you a force of light, a vehicle of love and truth that reaches those who are ready to discover their own potential. These talents are your spiritual inheritance, a power that has a depth and love that goes beyond human understanding. They were given to you so that you can make a concrete impact on the world, to act as a beacon, a guide, a motivating presence. This is your calling, and by living this truth, you not only honor the agreement you have made with Source, but you also become a concrete example of what it means to be an agent of change. As you progress along your path, these gifts become not only a manifestation of your potential, but also a sacred obligation. They represent your direct link with the divine, evidence that you have been selected to have a unique role in the grand project of life. By using these gifts with awareness, compassion, and purpose, they transcend the status of abilities. They become links between the physical world and the spiritual worlds. By accessing and expressing these gifts, you reinforce your own nature and motivate those around you to follow the same path. This inner power is not just for your own well-being. He is a catalyst for collective change, something that intensely affects everyone who connects to his energy. By acting on your talents, you are not simply lighting your path. It is forming an energetic field that reverberates beyond you, reaching the hearts and souls of those who are ready to awaken. Often, without speaking a word, you can provide a silent healing, an inspiration that reminds others of their own connection with the divine. This influence that you exert, even if silently, is an extension of your sacred pact. Every gesture of love, every demonstration of compassion, every wise guidance you provide are ways of manifesting this divine inheritance. By living according to these principles, you contribute to increasing the vibration of the world around you. Reflect on how many people were impacted just because you were in tune with your purpose, because of the genuine presence you convey. You may not always notice the direct impacts, but be aware that they exist and are part of your role as an elected official. These gifts, therefore, transcend mystical abilities or talents. They represent the direct presence of Source in your existence, a constant reminder that you are a channel of love and light. It is not necessary to understand or detail every detail. Just trust this process and let Source guide you. By surrendering to this guidance, it becomes simpler to listen and follow the promptings of the divine. By quieting your mind and opening your heart, you become an ideal container for this energy, a place where the divine can manifest without restriction, bringing healing and discernment. By fully embracing this mission, you become a driver of transformation, an example of what is possible when you live in total harmony with your purpose. Whenever you behave with integrity, employ your talents to help, choose compassion over judgment, you are contributing to the transformation of other souls and the upliftment of us all. This is the true power of these talents. They go beyond the personal and reach the collective, silently changing it from the inside out. And don't forget, your journey is not just about you. These abilities were given so that you can light the path of others, demonstrating by example that there is a higher force that guides and protects us all. By living your truth, you allow others to awaken as well, allowing them to realize the divine spark that resides in their hearts. This is the true power of your sacred covenant, not only to change your life, but also to serve as inspiration and guidance to all who are willing to align with their own purpose. So when you ask yourself if you are doing enough, if you are employing these gifts appropriately, remember that when you live in tune with Source, you are already fulfilling your role. Its effect manifests itself in waves that go beyond what is visible, reaching hearts and awakening consciousness that, consequently, will contribute to collective awakening. This alignment with the Source is an experience that goes beyond common understanding, as it connects you to something much greater than your ego, to something that vibrates in harmony with the purpose of the universe. When you connect with this energy, you understand that you are more than a person seeking change. It is a vital component in an inexhaustible web of light, wisdom, and love. This connection with Source makes you a conduit of divine energy, enabling you to transmit a profound truth that, in itself, inspires and awakens those around you. This state of alignment does not require you to abandon who you are, but rather to deepen your understanding of yourself, uniting your skills and experiences with the greater purpose that Source has entrusted to you. When you are aligned, you feel a tranquility that fills you, a conviction that, even in the midst of adversity, there is a deep meaning in each experience. This alignment represents a collaboration with the divine, in which you bow not out of weakness, but out of understanding that there is a higher wisdom guiding your actions. By allowing Source to guide your path, you become a river that flows without obstacles, responding to the whispers of intuition, the subtle signs and guidance that emerge in moments of stillness. This trust, this silent faith, is what intensifies the connection between you and the divine purpose, unveiling a path that, little by little, becomes clear and coherent. By acting this way, every part of your life begins to resonate with a greater purpose. You begin to understand that your challenges are not barriers, but sacred teachings, chances for evolution and improvement of your essence. This state of harmony allows you to see your experiences as steps that take you ever closer to your spiritual potential, establishing an uninterrupted cycle of learning. Even adversities acquire a new meaning, become opportunities to develop confidence and further expand understanding and the ability to live in harmony with Source. This alignment, however, is not passive. It is a daily decision, an active cooperation where you choose to live with values that value the greater good, serving something that transcends yourself. As your alignment becomes deeper, your life gains a resonance that inspires those around you. By living according to your sacred covenant, you become a living testimony that there is a connection with the divine accessible to all. This genuine and loving presence instills in others the desire to also align with your purpose, to seek their own light and connection. His trajectory becomes a silent testimony, a reminder that the journey of awakening is not only personal, but also collective. You begin to live with a tranquility that overcomes life's uncertainties, a tranquility that arises from the conviction that you are exactly where you should be, fulfilling a mission that was given to you from the beginning. Living in harmony with Source is a sublime calling, a calling for which you have been selected, a mission that you accept with reverence, aware that each step you take contributes not only to your personal development, but also to awakening and change for everyone around you. This state of harmony is the true purpose of your sacred covenant. By accepting this connection, you not only clarify your personal path, but you also become a beacon for others, helping them remember that they also have a greater purpose, a divine mission waiting to be fulfilled. Therefore, you are a light in a world that seeks guidance and clarity, a mentor who, by living your truth, encourages others to discover their own abilities. When you choose to connect with Source, you choose to live a complete life, filled with purpose and meaning. Every gesture, every reflection, and every choice reflects divine wisdom, generating an existence that inspires, heals, and changes. This is the power of alignment. It goes beyond your individuality, forming a network of love and light that influences the collective, helping to raise the consciousness of all humanity. When you are fully in tune with Source, your life transforms into a ceaseless flow of purpose, where every action, even the smallest, carries divine energy. This state of harmony makes it a reflection of the Source itself, a channel that transmits peace, understanding, and love to everyone who crosses its path. Connecting with the Source not only changes your life, but also generates a ripple effect, influencing the lives of many that you cannot even imagine. This is the sublime and immense power of purpose. It spreads, reaching hearts and minds, motivating those who still seek their purpose. When you live in complete harmony with Source, you become a presence that, in itself, provides clarity and comfort to others. Your energy, your words, and even your silence contain a quiet wisdom, a vibration that triggers something intense in others, even if they don't immediately understand. This state is a constant reminder that you are honoring your sacred covenant, not only for your own development, but also for the development of everyone around you. Every encounter, every word, and every action transforms into divine tools of change, forming a field of resonance that elevates not only you, but also the environment around you. This balance provides an inner tranquility that changes the way you deal with life's experiences. You realize that you no longer respond automatically to challenges, but see them as sacred opportunities to expand your consciousness, reinforce your purpose, and strengthen your connection with the Source. Each barrier is perceived with a new perspective, as a meticulously crafted teaching to lead you back to the center, reminding you that your path is sacred and that each advancement brings you closer to your divine essence. By connecting with Source, You learn to place greater trust in inner guidance, in the voice that speaks with wisdom that goes beyond reasoning. This confidence allows you to face uncertainty calmly, aware that you are being led by a superior intelligence towards a goal that goes beyond your restricted understanding. This surrender is not an unconditional surrender, but a conscious collaboration in which you choose daily to cooperate with the will of the Source, allowing your life to be shaped by the divine. This state of natural synchrony establishes an innate connection between you and the cosmos. Experiences flow, encounters acquire meaning, and chances for evolution appear at the right time. Each day becomes a harmonious dance between you and Source, where intentions harmonize and purpose reveals itself in surprising and impactful ways. Living in tune with the Source turns your existence into a constant testimony of love and light, a reminder to everyone around you that the connection with the divine is within everyone's reach. By experiencing this truth, you motivate others to follow the same path, to seek their own connection, to discover their sacred purpose. You become a point of light, a beacon that, in the midst of darkness, helps others find their route. This is the genuine power of alignment. It goes beyond your individuality and becomes a collective force, a vibration that spreads and helps raise everyone's consciousness. By becoming this presence, you honor the agreement you established with Source, contributing to the awakening and change of the world. As you begin this new journey, you feel a sense of freedom, as if your soul can finally breathe, expand, and manifest all the potential that has always been present within you. This path symbolizes a total change, a restart that values everything you have learned and experienced so far, but which propels you to a higher level of consciousness, purpose, and connection with the divine. You overcome old fears and restrictions, enabling your most genuine essence to emerge, a version of yourself that is in tune with the sacred purpose that led you to this point. This new step in the journey is challenging, but extremely rewarding. With each advancement, you experience a more intense connection with Source, and the uncertainties that previously restricted you now dissipate in the face of the clarity that emerges from within. It is a liberation process that can be arduous, as it requires you to let go of all ties that no longer contribute to your development. Just like a snake that sheds its skin, you shed the layers that have already achieved their goal, exposing a renewed and radiant essence. This detachment goes beyond a simple personal change. It opens the way for experiences and relationships that vibrate in tune with your highest goal. On this new journey, you will meet others who have also been summoned. They are spirits that vibrate at the same frequency, that feel within themselves the call to live with authenticity, compassion, and purpose. They will not identify each other by appearance or words, but by an implied connection, an energy that connects them beyond logical understanding. This meeting of souls establishes a support network, a community of awakened spirits that walk together, sharing knowledge, inspiration, and energy. This connection serves as a reminder that, even though each journey is individual, no one is truly isolated. United by this greater mission, you become part of a movement of change and awakening that goes beyond each individuality. By following this path, you become a concrete example of what it means to be a chosen one, a person who lives in tune with the divine purpose. Your determination to answer this call, even in the face of doubts, is a silent inspiration to those still searching for their personal purpose. By radiating your light, you demonstrate to others that it is possible to live in tune with Source, that it is possible to achieve peace and clarity that overcome the obstacles of the world. Thus, his trajectory becomes a call for others to awaken, to remember their own sacred pacts, and to recognize the capacity for change present in each of us. As you progress along this new path, everything in your life takes on a new meaning. Every decision, every gesture, and even every obstacle is in perfect harmony with your sacred pact. It seems that everything fits into a vast divine project, like pieces of a puzzle that unveil the integral vision of your mission. This clarity provides intense tranquility, a conviction that you are exactly where you should be, performing the role for which you were selected. Despite adversity, you experience a strength and tranquility that arises from alignment with Source's greater purpose. This new path is, above all, a light that brightens the universe. You become an agent of transformation, a presence that elevates the energy around you and instills in people the desire to connect with their own truths. This trajectory, which began as a personal change, now presents itself as a mission of service, an invitation to help raise everyone's consciousness. By fulfilling your sacred pact, you not only realize your own destiny, but you also contribute to the collective awakening of humanity by helping others discover the bravery to live according to their own goals. This trajectory not only changes your life, but also affects the world. What is to come has the ability to change everything around us. By answering this call, you not only fulfill your personal mission, but also contribute to a global transformation, an awakening that reverberates far beyond what is visible. Source has led you to this point for a reason, and what lies ahead of you goes beyond a phase. It is the full realization of your sacred mission. Advance safely, aware that this new path will not only illuminate your path, but will also serve as an inspiration for all who are willing to remember their connection with the divine and walk in tune with the Source. As you progress, you realize that each movement on this new path is supported by an invisible force, a subtle guide from the Source that guides and protects you. This movement is not isolated. It's a dance, a flow where your every movement is in tune with a greater goal. You begin to notice that coincidences intensify, that interactions with people and opportunities arise at the precise moment, as if everything were part of a larger, perfectly planned plan. This is the essence of your sacred pact with the Source, allowing the divine to manifest through you, generating an effect that reverberates in many directions and affects the lives of many people. With each new discovery, with each learning experience, you experience the burden of obligations and the lightness of purpose. This new journey, although challenging, provides inexpressible satisfaction, a feeling that you have finally reached the destination for which you were destined. The fears that previously held you back now melt away, giving way to a deep, silent trust. In your soul, you are aware that you are following the correct path, that each experience is helping you grow and fulfill your divine mission. This change is a constant process of expansion, in which you become increasingly open to the wisdom of Source, allowing it to guide you in your choices, encounters, and the words you communicate to the world. You realize that your role is much broader than you thought and goes beyond your personal achievements. The mission you take on now is a contribution to the common good, a help to awaken the consciousness of all who are prepared to welcome this light. Then, your journey becomes a mirror of the divine potential that resides in each person. As you allow yourself to enter this new stage, you discover a community of awakened souls who answer this call. There is an underlying connection, an echo that goes beyond words, a silent realization that you are all part of something bigger. This network of support and inspiration reinforces your journey, reminding you that you are never isolated. You share knowledge, provide support, and strengthen each other to overcome obstacles, establishing a sacred alliance that resonates with each other's mission. Together, you constitute a luminous community, a network that fuels and supports global change. This new path reveals a crucial truth. Your role as chosen one is not restricted to you, but is a journey of service, love, and growth. By answering this call, you become a conduit to Source, a presence that silently motivates others to pursue their own awakening. Your bravery to follow this path and your determination to live your truth are like seeds that spread and sprout in the hearts of those who are still searching. You remind them that change is viable, that life can be lived in harmony with the divine, with a purpose that transcends human constraints. As your journey progresses, you realize the profound impact you have. This new path, this existence in tune with the Source, begins to radiate a light that transcends borders, cultures, and generations. Every action, every decision made, helps to raise world consciousness, promoting a global change that awakens the world to the truth, beauty, and love that exists in each individual. Your mission is no longer a solitary effort. It is a valuable contribution to everyone's awakening. The Source prepared and guided you for this specific moment, for this new path that changes everything around you. Advance safely, with a receptive heart, aware that what is approaching is the authentic fulfillment of your sacred mission. His path enlightens the world, motivating those who are also willing to remember their own nature and remain in tune with the divine. This is your trajectory, your destiny, a journey that will not only transform your life, but also that of everyone who, in some way, crosses paths with you. This final call symbolizes the culmination of everything you have experienced, a milestone that asks you to broaden your light so that every learning, every suffering, and every moment of evolution are now tools of change for the world. It seems that Source, with its infinite wisdom, empowers you to be an agent of transformation, someone who, through your own trajectory, inspires others to have the bravery to align with their own goal. This calling goes beyond the answers you sought for yourself. He invites you to become a beacon of light and truth, spreading your wisdom and touching hearts in unique ways, as only you have the ability to do. This period is characterized by a feeling of urgency, an intense awareness that the world needs your participation. This final call asks you to unify all facets of yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your skills, and your knowledge, to become a presence that inspires, uplifts, and heals. You have been led and strengthened to this stage, and now, with each advancement, you realize how each experience, each battle, and each awakening aligns with a greater goal. This final call is a reminder that you are prepared to share what you have learned to light the path for those still searching. However, this new stage may present challenges that test your bravery and empathy. By taking on this mission, you transform yourself into a presence that challenges comfort zones, that awakens truth in a world that often closes itself off to the unknown. Being a catalyst for change requires intense involvement, a faith that keeps you unshakable even in the face of resistance and challenges from the external world. However, don't forget, Source is by your side, supporting, guiding, and strengthening you so that you can be a foundation of light, a healing agent, and a motivating presence. Every action taken in this final call represents a sacred act of service to the collective, a valuable contribution to the awakening that is taking place on a global level. This final call also reminds you that your own path of development is uninterrupted. Although you light the path of others, your own soul persists in developing, expanding your understanding, and strengthening your connection with the sacred. Every word, every action, and every decision serves as a means to communicate the truths that reside within, influencing those who are prepared to discover their own nature. This stage provides you with incomparable tranquility and clarity, because by living in perfect harmony with the sacred pact, you discover the real meaning and purpose of your life. By answering this call, you do not end one cycle, but begin another, where your life stops being just an individual journey and becomes a legacy of change. This legacy represents his contribution to the world, an inspiration to all who seek, awaken, and by observing his example, remember that they also possess the divine light and sacred purpose within themselves. This final appeal is not just about your personal awakening, but also about your collective awakening. Thus, your life becomes a testimony to the beauty of living in tune with Source, a presence that encourages others to discover the power and harmony that arise when we live our truth. As you move forward in this final call, understand that the journey does not end here. This is the point where your individual mission and your collective impact intersect, generating a life that resonates with love, compassion, and purpose. It is your means of expressing gratitude to Source, honoring the sacred covenant entrusted to you, and motivating those who observe you to act in the same way. This is your heritage, your participation in awakening and changing the world. May your trajectory serve as an inspiration for those who are willing to follow their own path towards the divine. And may, when carrying out your mission, you persist in living in tune with the Source, in a perpetual dance of love and light. In this final calling, you understand that your role goes beyond just being an investigator. You become a guide, a healer, a light for everyone who crosses your path. Every movement you make, every word you express, every gesture of compassion becomes an expression of the divine love that now permeates you. This moment symbolizes the total realization of your sacred pact, where personal transformation discovers its true meaning in serving others. As you step back, you realize that all the hardships and lessons have prepared you to be this presence of wisdom and love, a person who not only lives in harmony with the divine, but also inspires that harmony in others. As you progress, you realize that there is no end to this journey. Change is constant, a cycle of growth and discovery that never ends. The final call is a reminder that every moment is a chance to intensify your connection with Source, expand your understanding of life, and motivate those around you to follow the same path. This calling drives you to live with an authenticity that reaches the hearts of those who observe you, emitting a confidence and tranquility that comes from your unshakable connection with the divine. Your existence becomes a mirror of Source, a channel of love that transforms everyone who interacts with you. Every experience, every interaction, every decision becomes a catalyst for change that goes beyond what one can perceive. This last call asks you to not just be a spreader of light, but a concrete model of what can be achieved when in tune with divine purpose. His trajectory is a reminder to the world that everyone carries within them the ability to awaken, transcend, and live in harmony with the divine. By answering this final call, you complete one cycle of searching and begin another, where your existence becomes a testimony, a source of inspiration that will reverberate through time and space. This is the instant when your personal change transforms into a collective force, where your sacred pact reaches its peak by impacting and awakening the surrounding souls. This is the genuine beauty of your mission, understanding that your path is not individual, but part of a global awakening that elevates humanity as a whole. The legacy of light you leave is not just a record of your own awakening, but a lasting contribution to global awakening. May your journey always be a stimulus for others to follow your example, also awakening to your truth and embracing the divine potential that exists in each person. When you answer the final call, you unite with Source, leading a life that reflects the beauty, power, and harmony of being fully in tune with sacred purpose. Thus, as you progress, you have the conviction that your presence is a beacon, a transformative force that will continue to inspire, heal, and awaken those who are willing to remember their own connection with the sacred. This is the path you have chosen, and this is the final calling that leads you to a life filled with fulfillment, love, and contribution. I wish you to proceed safely, knowing that you are precisely where you should be, carrying out the sacred mission that has always been yours.